Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. One of you requested a video on public speaking, and one thing about me is that you ask and I deliver. So yeah, I have got my points all ready like always, and let's go. First things first, public speaking is definitely scary. I'll not sit here and tell you that it's easy peasy, because every time you get on the stage, you get this strong, gnawing feeling in your gut, the kind you get when you're about to get on a roller coaster. It's very real. You have this fear of judgment, fear of making a mistake. What if this happens? What if I stammer? What if I say this word wrong? And all these things combined, they restrict you. They convince you that no matter what you say or do, you will make a huge blunder there. And what if I help you change that? What if I tell you it's all psychological, it's not real, and since it is in your mind, we can convince our mind to think otherwise. Let's understand this simple concept of spotlight effect. So the spotlight effect says that a lot of the times a person might feel that they are being closely monitored. Let's say that you're going to a party and you feel that a lot of your friends are going to be there, your colleagues are going to be there, and you feel that I need to dress perfectly because if there's anything wrong with my outfit, my hair, or my makeup, they will judge me. What if I move my hands wrong? What if I say something unfunny? And all of these feelings, they scare you because then you're afraid to make even a single mistake. The spotlight effect expands to a new degree when you're speaking publicly because then it becomes more real. It's very important to understand that when you stand in front of an audience, they don't expect you to be perfect. They just want value out of your content. And once you get that straight in your head, that hey, I don't need to be flawless, perfect, I can be a normal human being, provide the value in my content, in my speech, give them what they're looking for, and it'll be a smooth ride for me from then onwards. Now, once you convince yourself that I got this, I can do this, and you get on the stage, a very real thing can happen. Because this has happened to a lot of people, that your mind might just go blank. All your thoughts, everything that you've memorized, it can just boil down to zero. You just don't know what to say. The fear takes over like nothing else. Here is where it's important to understand fight and flight. Many a times, the situations are not that huge, but your brain, it overthinks and it makes it into the biggest disaster of your life. Fight or flight is whenever you're in trouble, let's say that you're standing in front of a lion, there are two ways you can act. One is to run away. Your flight mode is active, that no matter what, I'm going to run like it's to save my life, which it is. So that's your first thing. Second thing is to fight it. So you'll try to search for some sort of weapon that you can use against the lion. You'll stand there and fight it. Now, the thing with these things is that these are still your responses to a threat, to a danger. Now, when you're standing on the stage, your brain cannot tell a difference between standing in front of a lion and standing in front of 200 people. So it will make you feel the same thing. You'll feel the same fear that, oh my God, I need to run for my life. I need to do something where I don't have to stand in front of such a huge crowd. Or I'll just stand stiff and I'll do anything and everything. I'll be awkward. I'll make some mistakes because I was so nervous. All these things, they are just this long ruse organized and orchestrated by your darling brain. The thing with the brain is that if it convinces you that something is dangerous, you can change its mind. You can trick your brain into believing that it's all fine. And all of this happens with very small steps. So, one thing that I do is that whenever I have to step on the stage, I start with something super powerful. This was my go to. So, for every speech, debate, or anything that I had to start, I would start with a quote. Because when you get that high from the beginning, you automatically feel more confident. You get that perfect flow, and then nothing can bring you down. If quotes are not your thing, you can start with a powerful question. Questions, because they will get the attention of the audience, and you feel that you're standing at a higher level, asking questions to the audience. Pick your style, it could be anything, just give it a powerful start. If it gets that powerful start, it would become super easy for you to take the command of the rest of the speech or the toast. Now, starting with a quote is fun and all, but that's not enough. There are a few things that you can try. It's all physical now. First thing that works is blinking slowly. It calms down your nervous system, you feel more comfortable. And when your body feels more comfortable that, hey, I'm not shaking, I'm fine, and then I can say the rest of my speech or toast perfectly. Another thing that works is smiling. Of course, your topic would matter a lot, but if your face expression is scared or nervous or anxious, then your brain has no reason to believe otherwise. Having a smile on your face can be quite an easy technique to get you through the entire content. Another scary factor about public speaking is that you feel, what if I make one mistake and the audience judges me, my entire personality over it? That's not true because the audience is not looking for a flawless, perfect speaker. They're just looking for a connection. And you can relate with it because when you go for a comedy show or an open mic event, you don't expect the person to be perfect, flawless. You just want their content to provide value and for it to be delivered well. You might have seen that a lot of the times actors are appreciated on their dialogue delivery because value is what the audience is looking for. And once you understand that factor, that okay, I don't need to be perfect, the world doesn't end when I make a mistake, I just have to be the best at what I do, the fear just slides away. It's out of your life, and you can speak exactly the way you planned in your head. Now, once your brain is convinced that, hey, I'm cool, I'm good, I can do this, throw at me any public gathering and I'll just kill it, it becomes important to have some real practical tips up your sleeves. The first thing is breath work. Because trust me, as a public speaker, you will run out of breath on countless occasions. Because sometimes when you get nervous, you'll rush the speech, and suddenly, when you'll realize that, oh, I need to slow down, you'll take a pause, you'll take a break, and then you'll speak again. It becomes much easier when there's a consistent breath flow. So focus on your breath, speak slower, speak in a much calmer tone, be confident. Do not stand or sit in an uncomfortable position because discomfort exudes disoriented speech. So sit comfortably, stand comfortably. If you're holding a mic, hold it in a comfortable position. Don't just don't strangulate it with the power of your hands. It's very important that you chill out, and trust me, your audience will receive that vibe with warmth. So, after getting your breath work and pauses corrected, it becomes that you focus on your body language and eye contact. First thing for that is that, of course, the audience feels more connected because when I'm looking at the floor and I'm talking to you, you'll automatically feel a disconnect between us. So, when you're on the stage, make sure that there's eye contact. If there's a huge audience, go from left to right to left. Don't do it in a robotic motion, do it in a very natural way so that the audience can feel connected to you. Other than that, body language also helps. So don't have a very closed off body language that you're giving your entire toast with your hands folded or your legs crossed. That's a very restrictive body language. So be open, be comfortable, use your hands to your power, because when you pull your hands up like that, the attention goes up. Having your hands is such a powerful and magical tool in public speaking. Use them wisely. Another thing that body language and eye contact will help you with is it will distract you from all the nervousness of being on the stage. Because imagine you're giving your speech and you're thinking in your head, I need to look to the left, I need to look in the front, I need to focus on my hands and my legs and my eyes. Automatically, you do not have the time to worry about the anxiousness and the nervousness, the mistakes. You don't have time for that. You're busy giving the best performance, focusing on your body language and gestures. The next thing to be remembered is that whatever you're giving a speech on, it's important that you remember them by the pointers, because it can happen that you get so involved in the speech that you forget the order, what you're supposed to say next, or something happens in the audience and you lose your flow. Then you might forget what you were supposed to say. So it's very important that you don't just memorize the content, but you feel it. You feel it deep in your bones so that when you're speaking, even when you lose track of your thoughts, you're still able to pick it up from wherever and continue your thoughts. For example, if you're giving a toast on someone's wedding, you're talking about the person. So have few pointers ready. What are your thoughts on the person? How did you meet them? What changes you've seen in them? You have these pointers in your head, then when you're finally giving the speech, anything can happen. Maybe a mic malfunction can happen, somebody can drop while dancing, anything can happen, and nothing will stop you from continuing. Of course, you'll take the pause, but nothing will interrupt the flow of your thoughts. So, having a proper structure becomes essential. Last but not the least, this is where you put in the real effort. Before any performance, it's very important that you practice multiple times, especially since you're a beginner at public speaking. Once you become an expert, you would love to see what your brain does when you speak instantaneously on a topic, that how spontaneous your body and your mind can be. That's an interesting thing, something to be looked after at a later stage. But right now, you have to practice. And my three favorite ways to practice was super fun. First was practicing in front of the mirror. It's essential because you notice your expressions, your eye contact, you see the minor twitches that your lips and your cheeks would make, which is so essential. A lot of the times we feel judged for the way we are communicating, but when we have seen it all in the mirror, then nothing can surprise us. They can't see something which I haven't seen already. So practice in front of the mirror countless times. Second thing that I did was recording myself, because then I'm able to catch minor slips in my speech which I won't be able to catch if I speak directly to someone. It's very important that you listen carefully. I also timed myself. Let's say that I was speaking for 3 minutes continuously, so I'll make sure that the next time I speak, it's for that time exactly or around that time, because then I would know that I'm emphasizing on the right parts, I'm not skipping or forgetting any line, and it just leads to a better performance. So it was mirror, recording yourself, and finally, just go to different parts of your house. So I would usually do it in my bedroom because it's the safest space. Just pick any corner and start speaking as if you're speaking to a room full of people. You're just looking at your table, your closet, but in your head, you're preparing yourself to speak in front of a large crowd. Try all these three techniques multiple times. So when you get on the stage, you'll be confident in what you're doing. You'll believe in yourself. These were a few tips and tricks to make public speaking a little less scary for you. It's all about the practice, it's all about mindset work. Once you get down to it, you can become an unstoppable force to be reckoned with. Let me know in the comments below what's the scary part about public speaking for you. And if you have any other requests, drop it in the comments and I'll try to make a video on it ASAP. Thank you so much for watching.